Hi everyone, welcome to another live stream. I hope you guys had a super productive week. In case anyone is wondering who I am, my name is Misha Gerik. I am a writer from South Africa. I focus mainly on speculative fiction. And the books that I have published are two young adult epic fantasies and one urban fantasy novel. Yeah, that's basically what I do. And yeah, it's a bit weird today, I realize, because I see the lighting is really bad, but I'm making do with what I can. I had to change my time from my usual 5 p.m. slot, South African time, to 8:30 because of the fact that I thought that we weren't going to have any electricity at my usual time. And then, right after I announced that I was changing the time for tonight, I had the wonderful fortune of finding out that they just went and first changed the time again and then later just cancelled load shedding altogether. So there was no power outage planned at all for today. But since the announcement was already made, I decided to just kind of roll with it and see how it goes. Right, so I see you guys are at least showing up, which is good because I was wondering if I chose like a later hour whether or not you guys would actually be here. So I'm really glad to see that some of you guys are at least coming through because I was so worried about being alone. I don't want to be alone. All right, so hi Raf, welcome. Thank you for joining. And also hi to Books with Kittens. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it, guys. In the chat, let me know what you guys are up to, what you will be doing. Do you want to, are you going to be writing, editing, doing other lifestyle stuff, etc.? And hi, Stuart. So, Stewie, how are you doing? I hope you are doing well. Let me know what you're going to be working on tonight. On my side, I'm going to finish reading The Vanished Knight, which is my young adult epic fantasy series opening book. I think that would be the best way to describe it. So it's the first book in my epic fantasy series, but I am reading it because I'm supposed to be editing book 3, but I'm kind of feeling like I lost track of something. So I'm rereading the first 2 books to make sure that I'm pulling the strings through into the third one, especially because the third one is massive. So yeah, that's basically what I'll be doing. And yeah, hopefully you guys also have some awesome jobs to do today and that we will get going together. Oh, and the other thing I want to do today is actually just write a short update post on Patreon because I realized, to my terrible shame, that I was postponing an update post because I was planning to have something done by now. And then I just never wrote an update post, and the last time I wrote one was in October last year. So I'm like, yeah, probably time to make people realize that, no, actually I'm still alive and still here. So that's also something that I would need to do today. But yeah, let's see. Lots of comments coming in from you guys. So let me just quickly scroll back to make sure. Hi, Kashay. Welcome. I don't think I've met you somewhere in one of the other chats before, but I don't think I've actually seen you on my videos before. So welcome, extra special welcome to you, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you will be working on today. Oh, that's Rap. Gosh, it keeps jumping so fast. So let's see. Okay, let's just scroll back a little bit. So Books with Kitten says, I might use the first sprint to organize my bookshelf and my desk because it's a huge mess. Well, if it's a huge mess, you might want to use 2 sprints because I'm going to start with 5 minutes as per usual, just as a quick warm up, and then working my way up systematically to 25 minutes. And then we kind of decide whether or not we want more sprints before going. So yeah, all right. So that's kind of just to keep in mind for your planning. We start with super short sprints and work our way up here. Right, Giraffe says, I'll give the dialogue I couldn't continue, too depressing last week, another chance. Good idea. Yeah, even if you chip away at it little bits at a time, it usually means you get stuff done. DL says, I'm going to be cleaning house because I'm going to have company over tomorrow and they're staying for a week. That's my alibi. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Let's see what else is there. And then Books with Kitchen says, and afterwards, I will write my version of the last Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker. Cool. Nice. Cachet says, glad to be here working on my March goals. Got to be more productive than I was this month. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I know that feeling. I was actually quite a bit more productive than I anticipated being, but last week I found that I could barely write, or not, when I say last week, I mean from this Monday through to today. I haven't really been able to write for my own stuff because, yeah, just I've been doing a lot of writing for work, and I think my brain's just like, yeah, no more. Please be nice. Please be kind to me. So I've been giving it a bit of a break, but I'm hoping that I will get back into momentum again on Monday. Let's see. And oh, hi Tamara, welcome. Thanks for joining. She says, I'm awake for your stream. I'm working on edits at the moment. Cool. And then Cachet says, I wrote a lot, but not for my manuscripts. That can't happen again. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I know. It's the same for me. Basically, what happened was that I have this communications toolkit, which is kind of like an instruction manual of how to do communications. Not that I think that it works, because you can't put everything into like a toolkit. But anyway, so I did that, and I spent most of last week writing at least 3,000 words per day into that thing. And so by Friday, I think I almost wrote like 4,000 words, which was like really good for me. But when it actually came to working on my own stuff, it was just like, yeah, it's like, you did fantastic. You got a lot of writing done, but I don't want to do any more, please. No, thank you. Just watch some TV or something. Yeah, so that was basically for me as well. I wrote a lot, but not really my own stuff. It's more stuff I get paid to do. So, but it's okay. I still love it. Best job ever and all that stuff. So I can't complain. Right, so let's see. I'm not seeing any more comments coming in, and it does look like the YouTube chat is coming in quite well, so I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. In the meantime, I'm going to set up our first sprint. So just as a reminder, we do a quick warm up, which is 5 minutes, and then yeah, and then I'll see you guys. So I'm going to count down from 5, and then we'll see each other, I want to say, at 43 minutes past the hour. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Time's up, guys. Let me know how you did. I think I kind of got distracted because I actually started reading my book. And then I remembered, but oh goodness, I just said that I wanted to write something for Patreon. So I did that instead. So I think I wrote like probably close to all of 50 words. Oops. But ah well. So, but I'm getting there. So I probably by the next sprint I should be done with that. So we'll see. And then I just want to also just say hi to Eva. Thank you for joining, and I hope you got some writing in. But if you did, let me know. Also, guys, just another gentle reminder: I do excerpts on this channel, so if you want me to read any sections of your writing, please share in the chat. Yeah, I will read from my own stuff if you guys post. I don't want to read alone, but we'll see. And then on my what else did I want to say? I actually had something that I wanted to say. Yeah, so just with the excerpts, keep it. You can go a little bit longer. I think it depends on how many people actually want to share excerpts, but we can adjust as it goes. And also, if you do want me to read and you have names that are not like regular, I want to almost say Anglophone kind of names that I can obviously understand how it will be pronounced, please kindly do just put like in brackets after the first time the name is mentioned, just the pronunciation as well, so that I don't butcher names, because the perfectionist in me dies a little every time someone says, well, actually it's pronounced this way, which is good. I love it when you guys do tell me, but still, it's just my brain is just like, no. All right, so now you guys know, and that's basically it. So let me just see. I've gotten a lot of messages in. I love how alive the chat is today. Thanks so much for that, guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's see. Cachet says 212 words. Wow. Well done. That's a lot. That is very nice. Books with Kittens says, I actually almost finished my mess. It looked worse than it actually is. It's funny how that happens. Is that you kind of just assume that it's the worst thing ever, and then you just get started, and it actually ends up being like really easy to manage. So, but it's good. I'm glad for your sake that that is what happened, because now you can get to some writing hopefully. So that would be cool. Raf says a full 25 words. I think you and I are about in the same ballpark. So let's see. Eva says, I'm researching covers at Art Weekend, overwording this time around. Cool. Still very nice. I hope you find what you're looking for. Is it just let me know as well? I'm curious. Is it just for anything specific, or are you just doing it for like interest's sake? Curious. I'm curious. I'm curious. DL says, I was distracted by Facebook. Oh well, laugh out loud. Oh, that happens. That happens. In fact, it's happened so much that I've actually taken to closing stuff as I'm working, like writing or just working for my contract stuff as well. Oh gosh, my hands are all over the place. Yeah. I find that, yeah, I just find that not having the stuff open just makes it a lot easier for me to actually focus. But I know it's harder. It's easier to say than to actually do. So. Tamara says, I dropped my coffee mug. I caught it before it shattered, but the rest of yesterday's coffee splattered my floor. So that was what I was doing for those 5 minutes. Laugh out loud. Oh, but it's still a good catch. I'm impressed by the catch. The reflex is there, but the splattering is not fun. At the same time, I want to say it's about a month ago now. Yeah, I think a month ago. Same kind of thing happened to me, except the coffee that was spilled was actually hot and it splattered onto my lap. So that was fun. The fortunate thing was it wasn't boiling hot, so at least I didn't need to go to the hospital. So, but just to say that, good way to spend 5 minutes, because nobody got hurt. Yeah. And then let's see. Cachet says, Raf, I'm trying to laugh out loud. The next sprint will be a productivity one for sure. Excellent. And then Ava says, for a children's picture book, I'm trying to decide on a style. Ah, interesting. Very good. Okay, so Looks like we all have our things going on, and I'm not seeing any excerpts, so I'm starting getting my timer ready for the next one, because I still haven't figured out how to actually put a timer onto this channel. So if anyone actually has some instructions for me or a link to instructions, I would greatly appreciate it, because I have looked for it, but I don't know if I'm looking in the wrong places or what, but I haven't been able to find one. And I have a suspicion that it has to do with having two screens, which might also be a problem, because obviously, being as my laptop is currently on my lap, a secondary screen is not the most practical thing ever. But yeah, so let me know if anyone knows how to do it. I would appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Right, so in the meantime, I am going to count down again, and then I'll see you guys in 10 minutes. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, guys, time's up. Let me know how you did. I think I got about, I want to say, about 100 words this time. So, cool job for me. Tamara says, I use a generic timer from YouTube. I found a lot do not have music, so you don't get a copyright strike. And then I share the video on screen. Right, cool. Thanks for sharing, Tamara. Appreciate it. And then, okay, it's not for me. Not for me. Hi, Devon. Welcome back. Let me know what you're going to be working on tonight. Yay! So nice to see people coming back. I enjoy it. I love it. You guys are awesome. All right, so just let me know how you guys did. I see that I haven't really gotten any numbers. So, yeah. Just waiting for some feedback from the chat. Oh, it's not really anything. Aha! Okay, there's one. Books with Kittens says, I wrote like 12 words, but I had to decide which project to work on because I have too many and I love them all. I know that feeling. It's a good feeling to have. I always say it doesn't really matter as long as you have one that you prioritize most of the time, but if you need a break from it, work on whatever. That's kind of the way I think about it, but some people can't do that, so it works. Cachet says, I got my desk 90% cleaned off, just need to wipe the surface down. Cool. And Rap says, 90 words with a tactical reload, my pen went dry. Oh, I hate it when that happens. It happens to me too. It really sucks. Especially when you're sprinting, it's like, it won't work. Get out, get it out. No, it sucks. Anyway. Tomorrow says about 140 new words and some were deleted as well. Good going. Devon says, my desk is buried. I am using my bed instead. Cool. Yeah, I kind of have the same thing, except in my case tonight, the situation is that my brother is watching TV and my office is basically on almost like a mezzanine level right above the sitting room where the TV is at. So when my brother's watching TV, it's all over my video stream. So I decided to basically do this from my room. So yes, this is my bedroom, but fortunately it doesn't look as bedroomy, but yeah. Anyway, don't know. Maybe that was a bit too much information. Maybe. I apologize if it was. Cool. Eva says, just realizing my artistic limitations over here. Laugh out loud. Oh no, you have no limitations. Do not. You can do anything. Devon says, your room looks like an attic. Yes, it actually, yeah, I'm just going to do that. It is. It kind of just, I'm trying to do all this without there actually being like a shot of my unmade bed in here. But I did it. So yeah, it's basically, it's a second floor room, but it's the rafters are reasonably high, so I can stand up straight without knocking the cross beams. No, I hate doing this. There we go. Those cross beams over there are about a foot above my head, so it's not like cramped or anything. And as you guys probably saw from my very artistically held shot that I did earlier, it's not a cramped room at all. It's actually massive. So I like it. The only thing that I don't really like about it is that it gets really, really, really hot in the summer because no aircon, and it has 6 skylights that are quite big, and so the sun basically comes in and bakes this place. So yeah. Ava says, I wish I could raise my ceilings like that. I love it. Yeah, I think this is actually a really nice way of doing it because it's, especially for me, I basically have this whole space for myself, and now on the other side of basically behind the screen is actually my brother's room, which is also nice and spacious. But the nice thing about it is that the way this is built is that it has basically its own kitchenette, and then the white, gosh, the now that way, that thing there in the background, that's my wardrobe, but right behind that is a wall, that's a bathroom. So this is almost like a flat on its own, even though I am with still living with my mother and grandmother and brother in the same house. So it doesn't really feel like you're really on top of people the whole time. I can basically close myself up and just go on with my life, which is nice when I have to work from home as well. So yeah, it's cool. I really like it this way, and it's cool. The thing again with the heat being as it is, what does suck a little bit is this doesn't have any ceilings. So what, I don't know if you guys can actually notice, but this is actually thatched roof. So this is grass. But it can be quite cool, but again, with when the sun comes in, it's just so damn hot in here. But I try my best, and generally speaking, I do survive. But we've had some crazy temperatures going over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and that was less unpleasant for me to work. So yeah. Oh wait, anyway, I'll stop talking about my house. Um, and then Devin just said, "Raise the roof!" Woo woo. Cool. All right, guys. So I'm going to set up the timer for 15 minutes. We are getting some writing done. Right. Okay. So I'm going to count down from 5, and then I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, let's try that again. I accidentally pressed the button, so that didn't work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Time's up, guys. Let me know how you did. I finished my Patreon post and now I am back to reading The Vanished Knight. But on my side, it's a little bit difficult for me to share any excerpts because I know some of you have already bought this book, so I don't want to spoil anything. And I am on page 200 of 239 pages. So yeah, I don't want to really read excerpts from this section because it's really like a minefield of spoilers. Even though I was actually reading a really nice scene, but yeah, it's a terrible, terrible spoilery kind of scene. So I'm just going to not read any of it. But yeah. But other than that, I am doing good. I'm thinking that by the time we do the final sprint, I will probably be done. I might actually be done. So that's going to be cool. But yeah. Right, so while I was talking, I was just quickly picking up the time limit for the timer so that I could activate it again. Maybe I should just try to not have a skewed computer. All right, let's see. Got some things coming in. Cachet says, handwriting my 5 major goals for next month with each of their sub goals and whatnot. Got 1 goal down, laugh out loud. Nice, you're doing well. I kind of do the same thing, but I use Trello. Handwriting is cool. I used to have a handwritten journal that I used to keep track of my goals and daily tasks and things like that. But then I just started using Trello at one stage. And I really find that it's just very nice for me. And it kind of helps that I don't need to carry a book along because I can just keep it on my cell phone as well. But yeah. Let's see. Ralph says 86 words, lots of deletions though. Nice. Ava says, my web keeps going out, but I'm steadily working over here. Good. Devin says, go. Good, nice. And Ava says, new moon is tonight. Great day for setting intentions for coming days. Cool. Yeah. And then Cachet also says, laugh out loud. I convert to Trello afterwards. Too cool. Yeah. I know some people are just always, they think it's so weird that I use Trello so much. But once I went to it, I just really can't stop. It's just one of those, I use it for everything, even for my communications job. It's just so perfect to keep track of all the tasks that I just, yeah, I can sometimes not even think if I didn't put it on Trello first. Like the other day, I had to do a thing where I had to do like a task list of how to adjust a website in order to make it more efficient for what it needs to do. And I sat there trying to do it on Excel, which is what I usually did when I was keeping track of things or creating a task list. And I couldn't. My brain was just like, no, wait. I can't think like this anymore, because the thing with something like Excel is that it's almost like a limiting kind of thing, because if you want to move something, it's a pain in the ass. If you're trying to change how you want to do it and the format in which you want to do it, all that, nah, no. For me, Trello is just like really, really, really easy, because you can actually, it's a very, very quick and easy way to just change a card around or put it in another table or anything like that. So yeah, for me, I love it. I don't think I ever want to stop using it. So yeah, and that's just the free version. Eva says, even if you don't hold stake in the pool of the moon, it's a once of the month reset time option. Yeah, true. No, I was just like, I'm thinking, because I'm like, new moon, because I have a kind of, it's a long story. It's, I'm, yeah, yeah, yep, okay. Let's see. Tamara says, I wrote a little, maybe 50 words, but they're good ones. I've made some more conflict in the scene. Nice. Good going. Cachet says, I use it to plot my novels and short story universe. Nice. Yeah, that is an awesome way to do it. I have actually not used it in this way. Now you're giving me an idea. Gosh, I haven't actually. I use it to keep track of my to-do list of novels because yes, that is a thing that exists. I have a to-do list of novels. I haven't looked at it for, I want to say, 2 years now, maybe 3 years, but I have the list. It is there. It's just that my third book in the Vanished, or in the War of Six Crowns series, is so big and takes up so much space, and I have so little time that I haven't actually been able to look at anything major, like novel wise, that is not that book in years. So I'm hoping that I can change that this year, but I haven't yet. So there. And then Ava says, I started a series Bible in Trello, but prefer it on paper. Yeah, I think for me, the kind of, I think the reason why I don't plot my novels or anything like that, or even maintain a series Bible like that on Trello, is that I use Scrivener, and in a sense, Scrivener's kind of uh, settings and the way that they work with the little like cork boards and things like that is very similar to the way that Trello works. So for me to create something that I'm going to fill in anyway when I'm rewriting, because that's when I plot. I don't plot from the start. I plot after the rough draft. So for me, it kind of makes sense to just have that plan out in Scrivener, and then have the series Bible in Scrivener so that it's easy to just jump between the two. Um, and to do that and then also have something on Trello kind of feels to me like it's just kind of setting myself up for doing double work, and I don't like doing double work. It's the bane of my existence right now. Gosh, yeah. Just kind of reminded me of something from work where I'm doing double work in the form of having to edit the work done by an editor that was paid to edit the work, which is actually, yeah, not cool. I'm starting to think that everyone, all the contractors for that project, is starting to be like, "Holy crap! What have you done? Why did you hire this person?" Because I'm really a pain in the ass about certain things, but that stuff, like, I understand that nobody can actually do perfect edits, but you kind of need, when you're editing in English, you kind of need basic fundamentals in English. So yeah, that was a bit like, so I'm probably going to be looking for a new editor very soon, which is weird because, yeah, anyway, long story. And again, I'm feeling like I shouldn't go on about it too long because it's not strictly relevant. So, anyway, ta-da. And then Ava also said, I update Trello first though, faster to get it done. Yeah, true. I think the thing about Trello that is so nice is that it is so quick to actually update stuff, which makes it really easy for tracking and for finding certain things. And yeah, I love it. I love it, guys. It's like one of my most favoritist apps ever. I know that was very bad English, but it's endearing and quirky, right? Cool. All right. So for now, I think we are at 20 minutes for our next sprint. So I'm going to count down and then I'll see you guys at, I want to say, 52 minutes past the hour, which I know is a very weird way to phrase it, but it's because we are all on so many different time zones that it doesn't really make sense for me to actually use an actual time. All right, so I'm counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
5:05. It's a 7-hour flight or a 45-minute ride. In my imagination, you're waiting, lying on your side, with your hands between your thighs. But I come look, I'm busy when you cry. It seems like once again you like to greet me with goodbye. I'm always the clouds to go out, spoiled surprise. Take my hands off of your eyes too soon. I know you want to 5:05. If it's a 7-hour flight or a 45-minute drive.
Okay, guys, time's up. Let me know how you did. Sorry for the music that was playing. I did try muting, but I apparently managed to not do that, so that went well. Woohoo! But yeah, hopefully I don't get a copyright strike. But once the live stream is done, I will try to figure out a way to mute that section as well, so that it doesn't get me into trouble. Because that would suck. I don't want that to happen. But yeah, so that was interesting from my side. Let's see. Where were the comments that came in? So just Tamara just asked what I was listening to. I did answer in the chat, but in case someone missed it because they were like writing, that was called 505 by Arctic Monkeys. So I like it. I like them. I like the music. It's nice and vibey music. So it's ideal for my kind of stuff when I'm writing and reading and editing and stuff like that. So I enjoyed it. Okay, let's see. Okay. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining. I like your new profile picture. It's nice, very cool. And let's see. And Tamara also just says, I was because I asked, I just said in case she was wondering, the name was 505. So she said, I was. I like the Arctic Monkeys. I listen to Do I Want to Know all the time. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I really like that song quite really a lot. Let's see. Also, there was something just now that I was thinking about it. Just going back to before the sprint, we had some comments. Ava just said about Trello. Oh no, wait, that was Trello. Just saying, I update Trello first though, faster to get it down. I think in comparison to like doing it in something like Scrivener or something like that. And then Eva also just said, because of my frustrations with the editing, I'd be down to do a sample edit if you'd like, Misha. I'm curating some feedback and reviews of my editing style. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it will work because it has to be someone from the 5 countries in which the project is active. So that's kind of where the fun starts, because now I have to look actually for someone in a country where English isn't really even the first language most of the time. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. But yeah, I'll figure it out. But thanks for offering. And I really hope you do get some good feedback though, because I realize that getting that feedback can be really important if you want to set up like a side job of doing edits and stuff like that. Let's see. Tamara just said, I haven't used Trello before. I've heard a lot of good things. Yeah, it's definitely, I guess it depends on what kind of person you are. But for me, especially someone who's not naturally very organized, I find that Trello is really, really awesome when it comes to organizing, because it does actually makes a massive difference because it is so intuitive to use, which I really appreciate. Then Ava also said, easiest option for adding photos and text in the same place without having to click around so far, I think. Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm trying to think. Scrivener also is pretty good for that, but I think Trello might be a little bit easier, but it's cool. And then just I hear your music, which sucks because I have been, in all the time that I have been doing this, I've never had that slip up. But at least it wasn't an embarrassing song to play. It would have sucked if everyone was, what is that? So, because I listen to some weird stuff sometimes. See, just okay. Raf said approximately 60 words written, counting handwritten stuff by hand. That was for the previous sprint. And then tomorrow Wood said, I had breakfast during that sprint. I did write a few words, but not many. Cool, also good. And Cachet says, I've planned out all of March posts for one blog and 75% of the second blog. About to fix me some lunch. Nice. Well done. You're getting a lot of work done. Nice. Books with Kitten says, I decided to change projects. I'm editing a draft now, and wow, I wrote it around 2 years ago, and English isn't my first language, so 2 years ago I was way worse at it. Actually, it's hilarious. Nice. Yeah, it's I've actually also done that where I've written rough drafts and then I come back to it like 2 years later because again, War of Six Crowns, people, it takes over my brain all the time. So I write stuff and then I just don't get to it again. But it's it's really weird, but luckily for me, my English, it's not my mother tongue actually, but it is basically my first language because I went to school in English and I never basically stopped using it or even thinking in English since then, and that would be uh, for about 85% of my life now. So that's kind of why I don't really think that there's a massive change in the quality of my English, but there's definitely a change in quality of writing. Even now, I'm noticing between the first book, I'm now reading The Vanished Night, which is the first book in my series, and what I know is in the third book in my series, I can actually notice changes in the quality of my writing. And even though book three is now still currently very far from being as polished as the first book is, I can actually see that I have become a much better writer than I was back then. And that's actually kind of an exciting thing to think about because it just shows that writing is something that you grow into. And even though I've been at it now for going on 20 years now, um, it's still uh, how to put it, it's still nice to see that that growth and that development continues. So and may it continue forevermore, because if I didn't keep growing as a writer, writing would be boring. So yeah. Tamara just left a comment, don't feel bad, silly things happen on streams all the time. Oh, thank you. And then Raf just said, English isn't my first language, amateur. It's not even my third language. Cool. All right, so I am starting to get ready for our next sprint. I think we are now about to reach the 25-minute mark, and I think this might be either the last sprint or the second to last sprint. I will see how I feel after 25 minutes because it is now 10 p.m. South African time, but I don't feel particularly tired. So maybe we should just do the sprint and see how it turns out. I'm going to count down from 5 and then I'll see you guys. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And now I'm muting. And time's up, guys. Let me know how you're doing. I am almost finished. 219 pages and out of 239. So only 20 more pages left. So I am thinking there will be at least one more sprint because I'm trying to get this book finished. And when I say finished, I mean actually just reading it, but get through the book so that I can get to the next one, so that I can get back to book 3. Cute. Right, so a lot of comments and people showing up. So just a special shout out to Dana. Hey, thank you for joining and welcome. I think it's the first time that you've joined one of these. So special welcome. And Shannon, howdy. Hello. Welcome back. And Sarah also just came in, but I think I've already said hello to Sarah, I believe. Yes, I did. And then Sarah just said, I totally spaced out working and listening to the show between sprints. I'm still here, but I am a little ditzy. I'm working though. Nice. But thank you. Still very much appreciated that you stopped by, Sarah. And then Novel Nana stopped by and she just said, hello everyone, hope y'all's day is going well. Just stopping in to show my support and to hit that like button. I am brainstorming today for my mini series. Nice. And thank you for stopping by and for the like reminder. If you haven't yet, please do like this video because we need to please the algorithm gods so that we can get some recommendations and more people can come this way. Because I love more people. Not that you guys aren't awesome as well, but the more the merrier and all that stuff, right? So, and then Nana also said, thank you for hosting. I sure do appreciate you. Oh, thank you. And I appreciate you too so much. And let's see. I accidentally pressed the wrong button. Terry stopped by and he said, hope your writing day proves productive. Firstly, hi, Terry. Thank you for stopping. Yeah, well, I mean, at the moment, I'm not really writing. Just from my side, I'm recapping. So I'm reading previously published books to make sure that internally the entire series is still consistent. So that's what I'm doing right now. And let's see, Tamara says, oh dang, I wasn't looking in here and all sorts of people have shown up. Hi everybody, and then just like all the names. So yeah, it's nice to look up from sprinting and all the famous, or not necessarily famous, but all the familiar faces start showing up as well. It's in addition to all the familiar faces who have joined before. So it's very cool. I love it. Dana says, I finished reading a chapter of an arc I'm reading. Nice. And let's see, sorry. It keeps jumping. Shannon says, hey everyone. Hi Shannon, welcome back. Raf says he did 210 words. Very good. Novel Nana asked if Cachet is here. She was, I think. Cash was here. Let's see. Sarah says, I finished section. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Tamara says, I found a section in my story that I'm either going to delete or try to change. I'm not sure yet. Ooh, nice. Well, I want to say nice, but it's also not nice because it's always that like, what to do. But I hope you figure it out. I'm sure you will, but still not the best thing to go through. And then let's see. Nana says, you are a joy to watch, Misha. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying me because sometimes I feel a bit like, I'm being weird. So it's nice to know that you guys appreciate it. And always so jolly. I love the positive energy. Thanks. I'm trying. It's kind of like I find like doing these streams that if I'm not extra like a bit extra and a bit weird, it just doesn't carry across to the video that much, and then it just looks like it's and that's not good either. So I prefer being a bit like all over the place, a bit. Shannon says I'm doing some planning today. Good, good, good. And Nana says embrace the weird. Absolutely, absolutely. And Dana says we are all on the weird spectrum. Excellent point, that. And Devon comes in with another excellent point, namely being weird is part of the job. That is very true. If we were all the same, it would have been a very boring thing to start reading novels. So yeah, being weird is probably very, very, very much a big part of being a writer. So all the fun things. And Shannon just also said, weird and proud. Yay, cool. All right, so since I am now on a mission to get those last 20 pages read, I am going to do a 20-minute sprint because now it's starting to wind down again from my side. I would love to spend more time with you guys, and I'm going to push it a little bit, but it is now 10:30 p.m. South African time, so my bedtime is in the somewhat near future, if I can put it that way. So from my side at least, we are going to keep sprinting until I get those 20 pages done, but given that it is a 20-minute sprint, close to my, actually kind of, maybe I should not be admitting this on live stream and being like kind of saying that out loud on a Saturday night, but it's past my bedtime already. But yeah, so given that this might possibly be the final sprint for the night, so I hope you guys get a lot done during this section, and yeah, I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. Going to do the countdown in a few seconds. I just want to just share this thing from Nana saying, wave the weird flag proudly. I know I do. Yeah, absolutely. Being a normal person is completely overrated, I think. So yeah, but it's weird and it is like feeling a bit awkward on a live stream. So yeah, I try not to, but it's sometimes a bit hard because I'm actually, as I'm talking here, actually looking at myself, which is really, for me, it's important because I need to make sure that the camera is like in place and that I am not like too close and too fuzzy or anything like that. But um yeah, it's an odd thing. Like it feels more or less now it's not that bad because you guys are so active in the chat, so I know I'm not feeling alone. But a lot of the time it kind of feels like I'm talking to myself in the mirror, which is it's weird for me. So anyway, all right. So counting down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and see you guys at 55 minutes past the hour. Love you. And time's up, guys. Let me know how you did. Uh, I finished the Vanished Nights, so yay! I am actually really happy because at least you know that kind of the whole point of why I am rereading my first two books in the series is because there's been this very big niggling feeling that I've missed the boat somewhere, and so I had to reread to make sure I haven't. And so far, I've been through the Vanished Nights, and I have actually managed to do quite a good job of pulling all those strings through to the third book. Because yes, I have been putting some storylines and things into the first book already that aren't resolved by the end of the first book and pulls through to the rest of the series. So yeah, it's kind of weird now that I'm thinking about it that I picked this series to be the first thing that I ever actually managed to finish and get published and or publish myself because it's I shall call it ambitious, but it could also be just freaking insane. Yeah, so that part of it is not always fun if I have to write or edit. Um, for example, where I'm now working on book three, because it feels a lot like a job to try and keep track of everything. And yes, I do have a Bible and I do have like ways and means of which I keep track of all the things. But yeah, it's a big world, people. So yeah. One day I hope to be at a point where I'm like confident that I know exactly what the heck is going on at all times. But until then, I will keep having to reread my own stuff to make sure that I didn't stuff up somewhere, because I don't know if you guys also find it, but sometimes when you read a series and you read like a later book in the series, then you realize that this guy or girl who wrote this story didn't actually maintain the same, I always want to say just the same world rules. Sometimes even it just feels like there's this massive gap in between the books, and now I'm supposed to follow along, but there's this gap and no bridge. So that's what I'm trying to prevent from happening now with me, because there was a significant gap in time between the second book and the third book, because the third book, as it is now, is currently sorry, no, I think it's now the fifth draft that I've written, because I've written three rough drafts, and I actually, where I usually just do two rewrite or just one rewrite, I actually had to do two. Um, so yeah, and the big thing is that what I'm trying to figure out is that it feels like there's like this gap that I missed somewhere between book two and book three. And I'm kind of worried that if I don't do it right, people won't be able to follow it along. And it might be that there might be something majorly structural that I need to change. But I don't know, because I can't. It's just this feeling, this really bad, sickening feeling that I have, and that I hope is wrong. So hopefully it is that I'm going to one day finish the Heir's Choice, which is the second book in the series, and say, actually, I was wrong. That was just my anxiety mind speaking, and I should have just been editing book three. But for me, rereading the first two books is still a better option than just doing book three and doing it wrong and then having to undo everything again at a later stage. So, yeah, I think it's worth it, but it takes time for me to work my way through. But yeah, from next week, I will be working on book two of the series. So that's cool. All right, so let me just scroll back a little bit to see comments, because there were quite a few. And just by the way, if you haven't yet, let me know how you did. All right, let's see. Aw, Novel Nano says, I'm so sad because I had to cut down on my breakfast omelets with avocado because I recently discovered that one of my favorite foods, avocado, is a trigger food for my migraines. Oh no. and hard to focus on anything with a migraine, especially computer screens and writing. Darn near impossible, at least for me. Yeah, it's the same. I get migraines as well, but mine come, luckily, it doesn't seem to be triggered by food, but more from like allergies. If I don't control the allergy, then my nose gets closed up. That causes a headache, and that headache just goes over to migraine territory. And yeah, for me also, it gets to the point where I'm like squinting at the screen because I can't actually. Yeah, I can't really focus on anything that's backlit. That is just excruciating to me. So usually when that happens, it's just like, yeah, sorry, I am useless, people. I have to disappear, and then I go put on an eye mask and I try to sleep for at least 2 hours and see if that helps. But sometimes it doesn't. So it's good. I understand completely that you have to cut avos out, because if that is a migraine trigger, it's just better to not eat it. Even though I also love avos, so it sucks. Mm. Okay, Raf just said, congratulations, Misha. Wrote it, read it, check, check. Yep, thank you. Dana says, I finished another chapter and a half of the arc I promised to read. Nice. And then Dana also said, I reread my books in the series as well. Even though I have all the information, I learn more and see more when I reread my own work. Yeah, it's definitely that, because even though I have a reasonably good concept of what's going on, the stuff like keeping things in a Bible or keeping things separate where you can go refer to them again just feels like a summary. So the summaries are good, because if you need to refer to something and just like while you're writing, you can, okay, yeah, it's the same thing and you can write it in. But for actual I almost want to say inspiration. Like for me, I actually, this might be like the third or fourth time I've reread these books, because each time I go into the next book, or even a next draft of the same book or whatever, I actually reread, because they sometimes just, as a writer, even though I wrote this years ago, I can't believe how long ago I wrote these drafts for these books. But anyway, as a writer, I can still see if someone says or does something in the book. I can actually understand, I have a deeper understanding of what's going on. So I can actually understand the inflection of what's going on behind that, and those little quirks and differences and things between what the characters, like the point of view character, might think someone means and what they actually mean. That's where the story lies for me. So it's nice to read over all that again to make sure that I actually picked up on those things again to carry it through to the next part. Because for me, like I said, that's the interesting bits for me. So I love those moments and seeing that kind of complexity unfold. So that's for me why I also reread stories that I wrote before. And also, and not to sound like, oh gosh, but I like reading my own stories, because it feels to me like it's part of the reason of why I started writing in the first place, because I love reading. And for me, I loved I I kind of love writing because of the fact that it allows me to delve deeper into a story than actually reading a story allows. Because for me, being a writer, it's awesome and I love it, and I know it's my job to get the information across to a reader, but um, you kind of manipulate the information you send to a reader. It sounds weird, but you want readers to react in certain ways, because, for example, a twist in a story won't work if you don't actively hide the breadcrumbs that you're lying down getting into the twist. So stuff like that, you kind of, it's not as deep as readers would think it is. You do allow for depth, but yeah, I don't know, it's different. I just enjoy it. So I'll stop geeking out now. Stop. Just like shut up. All right. Let's see. Tamara says, I decided to delete that bit, and now I'm working out the rest of the chapter. I'm going to need to add a bit so that I can maintain the pacing. Nice. It's good that you made that decision. Now you can go on. It's well done. And then Raf said approximately 60 words and some continuity checks. In other words, trying to recall what I wrote so far. Yep. Also, good job, guys. All right. So, while I was talking so much, these were the comments that came in. And I think the chat has gone a bit quiet. So, I think I am going to say good night for now. If you haven't yet, by the way, please do not forget to hit like. If you haven't yet, please don't forget to subscribe. And please don't forget to hit the notification bell for what it's worth. And check the notification settings so that the notifications actually do go through. For me, this is rather important because as much as I try to maintain one kind of constant time for my live streams, at the moment it is nearly impossible because we have this thing in South Africa called load shedding, which is to say rotational blackouts, which is a very nice way of saying that my country's monopolistic power utility company turns off our power for 2.5 hours at a time, going from town to town doing this in order to make sure that we don't have a system failure, which means that some days it just means that at the most inopportune times I'm stuck without internet, without power, without yeah, it's kind of an enraging situation, so I don't want to talk about it too much, but just to explain why it is that I do move my times around so much. I am trying to find a better time or a nicer time, but the unfortunate thing is also that the times at which they turn off the power for me is not constant either. So I'm basically having to monitor what the schedule is like and then try to adapt to that. Chicken does not always work, but I try my best. So now you guys know I sometimes do have to randomly move, and I sometimes find out on the day itself that I have to move the times. So the best way for you guys to know, to come back to the point that I was making, the best way for you guys to know to tune in when I do go live would be through notifications and also just through the AuthorTube Discord server and or the Facebook group, because I do updates there when I am getting ready to go live. So those are your options, but just wanted to make sure that everybody knows because it is annoying and I'm trying to work with it as best I can. All right, so long story that, but now I'm at an end. Tamara just said good night and thanks for hosting. And thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And Raf also says, thanks for hosting. It was great. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who joined. I see quite a few of you have already left, but that's good as well. But I just wanted to say thank you. I really appreciate you guys, and I love it when we have such a lively chat because it just makes my job so much easier when I'm doing these live streams. May you have very productive weeks, and I'll see you guys again on Saturday. Tentatively back to 5 p.m. maybe, but I'm kind of thinking about it because I did notice that a lot of you guys who keep saying that you wanted to join actually joined tonight because I held it later. So I'm kind of thinking about it because most of the regulars also showed up. So it's kind of like I'm kind of thinking about making it a little bit later. But I'll keep you guys posted on that decision because, as I mentioned, it depends on the power outages. But yeah, so hopefully 5 p.m. at the earliest, hopefully. South African time, which is, now I don't even remember anymore. It might be, I believe it's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard, Eastern time, maybe. Yeah, but terrible. Come on. It's because it's so late. I'm falling asleep. So yeah, but 5 p.m. South African time you guys will be able to go look up the accurate time for your time zones yourselves, because obviously my conversion to Eastern is not going to work successfully tonight. So sorry for that, but I do my best. And Dana just also said, have a great night. See you next time. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Love you. Love you guys. Bye.